It's race week, guys. The Canadian Grand Prix is on this week, and as always, ahead of the event, I am looking at the most incredible, the most memorable, the most magical moments from Formula One at Montreal over the years. The Circuit Gilles Villeneuve has hosted the Formula One Canadian Grand Prix ever since 1978, which gives us a huge amount of races to choose from when it comes to the most incredible moments in Formula One around this track. So here are 5 of my picks for you guys here on the channel. And the first one is the first ever win for a Canadian driver in Formula One. It was, of course, Gilles Villeneuve, who managed to win the Grand Prix in 1978, the first ever race hosted at this track in Formula One. This track was known as the Ile de Notre Dame during those days, and it was constructed as part of Montreal hosting the 1978 Summer Olympics. Now, the track that would eventually bear Villeneuve's name was the host of his first ever win in Formula One, and it was the last race of the season. It was held in very cold conditions, only 5 degrees Celsius during this race. I don't even know why they thought racing in Canada in October was a good idea, but it didn't snow, which was good, of course. But yeah, Villeneuve, an incredible drive by him, one of his most memorable. Every win by Gilles Villeneuve was very much memorable in Formula One. He only got 6 of them, but every one of them were absolutely incredible, and this very much is one I would love to revisit with you guys at some point in the channel. But yeah, great to see the home hero managing to win that race. It was very much written in the stars, as it were. There was also a magical win for a Ferrari driver in 1995 as well. Jean Alesi, in my opinion, one of the most underrated Formula One drivers of all time. The man had absolutely immense talent, and he really could have been a world champion had he moved to Williams instead of Ferrari. But the head very much was beaten by the heart in this regard, and Alesi was always going to want to race for the prancing horse. However, in his time at Ferrari between 1991 and 1995, he rarely had the best car on the grid. I would wager pretty much never, but he did manage to get his only win in Formula One on his birthday in 1995. A lot of the main competitors fell by the wayside. Schumacher had some sort of weird computer glitch in his Benetton. Damon Hill, I think he crashed out of the race, and a lot of the competitors very much fell by the wayside, but Alesi kept his nose clean and picked up the last ever win for a V12 engine in Formula One as well. He actually ended up running out of fuel on the final lap, I do believe, and he got picked up by Michael Schumacher on his Benetton and got carried in, and the Canadian crowd were absolutely loving it. Of course, Alesi was not a local by any means, but a lot of Ferrari fans in the crowd, a lot of people sympathetic towards the French cause as well. Montreal, of course, being the biggest city in the French-speaking province of Quebec in Canada. But let's fast forward to 1999, and it was not a good day for Schumacher again in this one, because he crashed into what is now known as the Wall of Champions. Alongside him as well, the 1997 world champion Jacques Villeneuve and the 1996 champion Damon Hill also ended up in the wall during that race. However, the 1998 world champion, and the guy who would of course go on to win the title in 99, Mika Hakkinen, kept his nose clean to win that race. But yeah, incredible scenes, and one that is very much an incredible race. The fact that it named that wall, well, very much a sarcastic slap in the face. Welcome to Quebec, you're out of the race, get going, mate. But yeah, incredible stuff, absolutely incredible stuff, and it's ended the race of many a champion over the years since then as well. Another world champion we're going to talk about, we can't talk about Canada without talking about Sir Lewis Hamilton. He managed to get his first ever win in Formula One here in 2007, and he backed it up as well with a win in the following race the next weekend at Indianapolis in the United States. But he was absolutely incredible in 2007. His main title rival, it seemed at that time, was his teammate Fernando Alonso, and Alonso, I'm sure he was battling with a super Aguri. Was it Anthony Davidson he was dicing around with? I'm sure it was somebody like that, or maybe it was Sato, one of the two. But yeah, Alonso was well down in that one, very frustrated, but his teammate Hamilton absolutely dominated the race. It was kind of a when, not if, obviously, when it came to Hamilton winning his first race in Formula One, and that was part of his incredible rookie season. I'd argue the greatest rookie season of all time, where he finished on the podium in like the first 10 races or something. Unbelievable stuff was from Hamilton, and great to see him get his first of, to date, 7 victories around Canada, a joint record with Michael Schumacher. But of all the Canadian Grand Prix races, the most entertaining that I've personally seen in my lifetime has to go to 2011. Jenson Button, take a bow, son. from last to first. Not even on the grid last. He was last partway through the race. He took out Lewis Hamilton on the straight in very tricky wet conditions and got a drive-through penalty for his troubles. I think he did 6 pit stops or 6 trips through the pit lane during that race, and he still managed to win. The guy was an absolute wet weather master, was Button. Incredible stuff. He managed to get his first ever victory in similar crazy conditions at the Hungarian Grand Prix in 2006 as well. But that last lap move on Sebastian Vettel was something that will live rent-free in my head for the rest of my life. It is the longest Formula 1 Grand Prix of all time, lasting over 4 hours. There will never be a Grand Prix as long as that again. There is now a strict 4-hour limit because of this race. And yeah, him spinning out, obviously, Vettel, and Button taking the win on the last lap. I will never forget that. I jumped out of my chair watching it. It was like 11 o'clock at night. It was a school night. I was begging for my parents to let me stay up because it was Sunday night going into Monday. They let me stay up, and I'm very glad they let me do that. But yeah, 5 moments from Canada over the years. There's so many to pick from. I could pick a top 10, a top 15, maybe even a top 20. Very comfortable for this race. Which is your favourite Canadian Grand Prix of all time? Let us know in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more like this, guys. And have a fantastic day wherever you're in the world today. And we'll see you very soon.